Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. And here's a story that looks like it's got legs and might run a bit. The Police Scotland, are probing what they're defining as irregularities in Alba's finances. Alba, of course, was the party set up by the late, great Alex Salmond. And it was Alex who launched the probe into the operations and, more importantly, the finances of his own party. This was just prior to his sudden and sad death. He had concerns over how the party was being managed and how the finances were being controlled. And he didn't like it. And so he spoke to the police and organised this investigation. And a lot of people might have thought, oh God, and then were maybe relieved when Alex Salmond died, particularly if they were, let's just say, embezzling the money. Alas, maybe. Police Scotland now are looking into this. They're checking out these, quote, irregularities. And it may be the very end of the party. That'd be a shame. I don't mean that, of course. It needs to die. It's dead. It hasn't got any MSPs. It's got no power base. It's got no structure. It's got no policies. It's got nothing. It was a party brought together and run by Alex Salmond, basically to give him an income. That's all it existed for. And with him gone, well, the very raison d'etre of the party is, alas, no more. But it was set up supposedly as a competitor to the SNP, but it was just never ever going to be there. It really only existed after his death because of Ash Regan, and then of course she jumped ship. She's an independent now, mainly because she didn't win the leadership. That went off, of course, to Kenny McCaskill. Oh, I had to remember that. That's how insignificant they are. I couldn't even tell you the name of the leader. It was Kenny McCaskill, wasn't it? But of course, when she lost that, she took umbrage and jumped ship, and she's the only MSP. You'd think they'd made her the leader, but apparently not. Nobody wants her as leader. She's a nice enough woman, you know. She's done some nice things. Her stance on gender, for example, I've congratulated her on, and she's a very attractive woman and all, but she's not a very bright woman, and that's the problem. She's not bright. And you could tell that during the leadership of the SNP race. And it was all rabbit in the headlights when they kept asking her questions. But, getting back to Alba, it seems that these issues have been reported and they need to be investigated. Now, McCaskill claimed that the issues that have come to light are causing us great concern. I'm sure they are, Kenny. He said that matters are being investigated by the authorities, and Alba Party has made reports to the authorities, and investigations are being carried out. He said that there are many problems. Well, it's not a big party, so it shouldn't take long to work out who's doing what to whom and why. There's only about half a dozen people in there, isn't there? Chris McElhaney, for example, was the former General Secretary. He's bound to have a finger in the pie as well. There's all sorts, but it's suddenly all of a sudden a bit shady, isn't it? Now, Chris McElhaney, he died. He died. He didn't die. He was fired. I don't know why it was Alex that died. What am I talking about? It was Chris McElhaney was fired for, quote, gross misconduct. And it may be something to do and related to that. Who knows? I think he's trying to sue for unfair dismissal, but we'll wait and see about that. There might not be any money even if he was, so we'll have to wait and see about that as well. But Salmond himself has been assumed. It's been that he was complicit in not wanting deliberately to know how his party was being run, which means he knew it was a bit of a swizz from the beginning, perhaps. What the result will be, who knows? Will there be arrests? Who knows? This is Scotland after all. But it isn't the SNP, so who knows? But there we go. So there seems to be financial chicanery, mismanagement, double dealing, and a whole host of other problems of inappropriate conduct and embezzlement. Standard fare for a Scottish party, isn't it, really? Wouldn't expect any less. Old Alex will be whirling in his urn. Thanks a lot. Bye.